I'm Chris, and this is Jedi Council. Gonzo's running late tonight, but he should be with us in a little while. While that's going on, by the time he comes in, I think we'll start talking about the last episode, The Mandalorian. Maybe talk about what we think's coming up on this episode, The Mandalorian. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Bloomin' Cheesa. Thanks for coming in. But we're going to cover some of the new shows that are coming to Disney Plus. So let's see. All right. So, of course, we're going to have the third season of The Mandalorian. And as of right now, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure they'll start showing stuff as it gets time for the third season to come out. So I think we all knew we were possibly going to get a third season of The Mandalorian. I could see us getting more than just 3. I see us getting at least 4 or 5. Let's see what else. So they did talk about a new series, and that new series is Ahsoka. And basically, it's one of 2 spinoffs coming from The Mandalorian. The show will see Rosario Dawson reprise her memorable role as Jedi Ahsoka Tano. Originally debuting in the Clone Wars animated series, Ahsoka made a thrilling move to live action with The Mandalorian episode The Jedi this season. First appearance in Mando suggested that she was on the hunt for the still living Grand Admiral Thrawn, a villain introduced in Star Wars books long ago who was added to the newer Disney continuity with the Star Wars Rebels animated series. It's expected that the show will touch upon the epilogue of Rebels, which saw Ahsoka and the character Sabine Wren looking for the character Ezra Bridger. So I truly believe, hey, Mar, thanks for coming in. J-Dog, hey, how you doing? So, yeah, I truthfully believe that the Ahsoka series will probably be them searching for Thrawn to find Ezra Bridger. I don't want to give away the ending to Rebels if anybody plans on watching it, but Ezra Bridger and Thrawn end up disappearing together, and it's up to Ahsoka and Sabine Wren to find Ezra Bridger. So then again, if you haven't seen the Rebels, you don't know who Ezra Bridger is. So, but if you haven't seen Rebels, go check it out. It's a little slow at the beginning, but stick with it. It gets better. It really does. And it turns out that it's a really good animated series. And I really liked it. I don't think it's just for kids. It's got a really good story to it. But yeah, Ahsoka, I think it'll be amazing. It's going to be, I don't know when it'll come out. I'm figuring probably the next series we're going to get is probably going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but I'm not for sure. All right. So the next thing they talked about was Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic. And let's see. It's another spin-off of The Mandalorian. This one is more of a mystery. Some have speculated somewhat jokingly that it might be about the X-Wing pilot Trapper Wolf, played by director Dave Filoni, and Carson Tever, who is played by Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, both seen having Mando or help saving Mando from ice spiders in Chapter 10. I don't know if it'll be that. I don't know if it's going to be, if Cara Dune's going to get her own series, possibly with Mayfield showing up in it. I don't know. I'm sure they haven't started shooting for it yet, but it's something to look forward to. I mean, obviously it's going to be a spin-off The Mandalorian, so it shouldn't be, hey, Lori Jean, hey, thanks for coming in. But yeah, so you know, it's kind of up in the air about what the show's going to be about, and so it's pretty well left open to speculation. But it says it's going to be a spin-off of The Mandalorian, so I would say it'd have to do with some of those characters somehow. What's his Bloomin' Cheesa? says that would be funny. I also heard on the Ranger was going to follow the plot line of Squadron games. Huh. That might be true, but it did say it's a spinoff of The Mandalorian, so I figure it's going to have characters from The Mandalorian in it. So, all right. So the next one that's up is, of course, the one that I think a lot of us have been waiting for, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the long-awaited Obi-Wan spinoff will feature the return of Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader, with a new showdown promised between Jedi Master and failed Padawan. It's set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. We were lucky enough to see behind-the-scene footage on Obi-Wan Kenobi that wasn't broadcasted to the public this week. It didn't reveal much beyond concept art and McGregor praising Christensen's return. So I think this is going to be amazing. I don't know how they're going to play it out because supposedly we never heard of another fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader since Revenge of the Sith. But then again, you know, when he says the last time we met, I was the learner and you are the master, and you know everything changed around. So you know the thing is we don't. Maybe there was another time. I mean, they could have been speaking of a different time than what happened there on Mustafar. So, but I think this is going to be great. I think it's only going to be one season, so it's just a mini series. But from what I understand, the episodes are going to be a little bit longer than what the Mandalorian episodes are. So I think we're gonna get to see Obi-Wan, and we might get to see Luke as a little boy, because I mean this takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, so that puts Luke at 10. I'm really hoping that they don't try to make Luke like somewhat of the center of the thing. I kind of would rather see, if you see Luke, you just see him from Obi-Wan watching him from a distance. Because I do understand Uncle Owens doesn't really like Obi-Wan very well. So, but yeah. Hey, Faust family, how you doing? But yeah, I think Obi-Wan's going to be probably the one to watch for. It's the one everybody's been waiting for, and Hayden Christensen's returning, and Ben was hoping to see him in The Rise of Skywalker. It didn't happen, but I think this is going to be the one. We're only getting one season though. I think they could have made it longer if they would have really thought it out. And because I mean Obi-Wan was there on Tatooine for a long period of time. All right. Let's see, what do we got next? All right. So next up we have the Andor series. And for the Andor series, I'm going to show you just a quick clip. Well, I don't know if it's quick, but we will watch just a quick. Oh no. So yeah, there you have it. I think it looks like it's going to be good. I mean, I loved Rogue One, and I believe this is actually supposed to take place. I think it's 5 years before Rogue One actually happens. But we're going to get to see Cassian Andor as a spy, and I'm hoping. Trying to think of the droid's name. Is it K2SO? I think so. Yeah, K2SO. I'm hoping he'll be in it. I think this is going to be exciting, and it's going to be a great series. Now, I don't know if it's just going to be a short series or if it's going to be a long series, but I mean, 5 years before Rogue One, that's going to give you a lot of time and a lot of stories you can actually cover. And it's all going to be spying and everything like that. And I think it's going to be awesome. The one thing I got a question about is that all these different series, and they seem to be creating different alien species. And I kind of wonder if they're able to categorize and give these aliens names, because I mean, that's what Lucas kind of did. We had names for all the different kinds of aliens, and I'm just wondering, is Disney creating new ones? And I mean, so I don't know. That's really something. I mean, usually anymore, I can almost tell you what the alien's name or what kind of alien it is, and it just, to me, it seems like Disney is just creating more different aliens, and we don't have them categorized by any kind of name. But hopefully they're keeping track of this. I know if it was George Lucas, he'd have already been keeping track of this. And I know they put out usually every once in a while a Star Wars encyclopedia, so you would have to keep track of something like that. All right, so what we have, so yeah, the Andor, Cassian Andor looks great. As you can see, they've already started doing filming on it. The next one up is another new series, and it is Star Wars Visions. And it says the series of short films on Disney Plus will be composed of anime-style episodes made by acclaimed Japanese creators. This result in a bunch of fresh new angles on the Star Wars universe, similar, we suppose, to the Animatrix or Halo Legends. I don't know either one. I'm not into anime. I'm sure there are lots of people who are into anime, and I'm sure this will really make them happy to see that Star Wars might be bringing a larger crowd to anime. So a lot of times, even if it starts with Star Wars, it can actually bring people to watch other different kinds of anime. So, but it should be interesting. I'd like to see it. It's a different kind of animation for Star Wars. And like it says, it'll take a different look at Star Wars than the way we're used to seeing it, or a different perspective than what we're used to seeing it. So I think, I'm always willing to look at something new. I mean, I don't know if, there he is. Are you there, Gonzo?
Hey, I'm still driving, bro.
Okay. We're just going over the different new shows right now. All right. He'll be in whenever he gets home. So yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I said, anything that's going to have something different is always something refreshing. And I think with what they've done to Star Wars, they could possibly try anything. So all right. So next we got coming up is Star Wars Acolytes. And this is set at the end of a recent debut on High Republic era of Star Wars. The Acolytes comes from the co-creator of Netflix Russian Dolls, Leslie Headland. Not much was said about this. show by Kathleen Kennedy in the presentation, other than it's a mystery thriller set in a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers. Past reports have suggested it's the female-centric show with some martial arts stuff included too. We can't wait to hear more. This is the show Kathleen Kennedy leaked, and this is the one that upset Bob Iger. So from the way I understand, this is Kathleen Kennedy's baby. I'm not a big fan of Kathleen Kennedy. I'm willing to give it a try. But I'm not really into all that social justice warrior stuff. I mean, the thing is if they've got this thing where they try to put it out that way, I think if they just put it out and not say anything, everything would be fine. Because I don't know, this is the one that I'm believing has got past Bob Iger because Kathleen Kennedy snuck around his back. But like I said, it's going to be Star Wars. If it comes out, it'll be part of the lore. So I'll probably watch it, and maybe it'll lead to something better. I'm not mean better. I mean lead into something really good. All right. So next, I have another clip for you. Let me get that ready. So the Bad Batch. I think this is going to look awesome. Of course, if you watched the Clone Wars last season, you know the Bad Batch showed up. I thought it was a really great group, and this looks like we're going to see what's going on with the Bad Batch after Order 66 is actually taking place. And it looks like they might be joining the Empire, maybe not fitting in and turning against them and going rogue and maybe becoming mercenaries. And I really like the concept and everything like that. Once again, it's been talked about. We don't know if the Bad Batch had the chips put into their head or if they were separated from that group that were having chips put in their head. But I think that it's really going to pick up and it's going to be something really neat to see. And I really liked the episode. They had the Bad Batches in there at the end of the Clone Wars. I heard one of the people for Visions is going to be Miyazaki. He was head of Studio Ghibli, but retired years ago. Vision will be his last work. Bloomin' Cheese, I don't know nothing about anime. I really don't. Probably the only thing I know about anime is like Pokemon, and there was like some stuff I watched as a kid, like Age of Ultron. Is that it? Wait, no, it was just Ultron, wasn't it? And then there was another one, I can't remember what it was called. But I remember watching like stuff like that when I was a kid, but when it comes to like anime now, I don't really know that anything hardly about it. So I don't know. Is Dragon Ball Z, is that anime? I don't know. If I'm right, anime is just a style of is it a Japanese animation? I might be wrong, but yeah, that's I don't really know a lot of it. I like the style of anime, and I think that it'll bring a really neat look to Star Wars, is what I really think. So, but let's see, what do we got coming up next? So we have the Bad Batch, which, like I said, I think the Bad Batch is going to be great, and it's not that far off. All right, and then we also have, that's right, Lando. So they are going to create a series about Lando. It's an event series, which means it'll be one season long, from Justin Siemens. This show will focus on Lando Calrissian through actor though actor Donald Glover wasn't confirmed to reprise his solo role as a smooth talking and hard gambling Bespin administrator. Disney's announcement video sure used a lot of footage of the actor. Event series means mini series, so expect just one season of the show. Could Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo pop up again too? This one is in its earlier stages, so you might have to wait a while. So I would say this possibly could be where Alden Ehrenreich pops up. I could see Alden Ehrenreich actually popping up in The Mandalorian too. So playing Han Solo. And, any place they want to throw him in, I think that would be great. But a Lando series, I think that sounds awesome. I wish they'd do a little bit longer than just a mini series for some of these characters. I understand it's kind of hard because they're already characters that have been developed, but that doesn't mean stories haven't been developed for them. But I think it would be great to see this series. A Lando series would be awesome. I always loved the character of Lando Calrissian. I hope Lando isn't what they're calling it. I would love to hear him call it the Calrissian Chronicles. But right, Faust family. All shows will rock and can't wait to have so much Star Wars to watch. Right. So, but yeah, so we got that. And then coming up, we have our next movie. And that next movie is coming, I think they said in 2023, and I didn't get the image up of it, but it's going to be Rogue Squadron. So it's directed by the Wonder Woman's Patty Jenkins, the next theatrical release in the Star Wars movie canon after The Rise of Skywalker will be Rogue Squadron. That's coming in 2023. Rogue Squadron, of course, is the name of Luke Skywalker's fighter pilots who fought in the Battle of Hoth and were formed after the Battle of Yavin. The film will be a new generation of fighter pilots as they earn their wings, according to Kennedy, rising their lives in a future era of the galaxy. Rogue Squadron also featured an author. So Rogue Squadron were books, and it was also a video game, and hopefully it surrounds something like that. So another thing that we got come out, so that's a movie. Yeah, that is a movie that'll be coming out in 2023. So the next Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadron. So the next thing that looks like it's going to come out is called A Droid Story. And it's going to be coming to Disney Plus. This co-production between Industrial Lighting and Magic and Lucasfilm Animation will feature R2-D2 and C-3PO alongside a new hero. Their mission, that's a secret. Only the droids know. Expect something lighthearted and fun. Lucasfilm confirmed it's a film rather than a show on Twitter. So that I'm sure that's going to be great. And then the next thing we got is we got the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is coming. having directed one of the best episodes of The Mandalorian, Season 1's finale, where Mando takes down Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter. Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi is also working on a Star Wars movie. This one was announced back on Star Wars Day, May 4th, and surprisingly, it's coming after Rogue Squadron. It's been described by Kennedy as fresh, unexpected, and unique. Waititi is currently writing the film. So, there's a lot to come. And I'm sure that's probably not all of it. I'm sure that's only the stuff they've announced to us. So, but that's what we have on the Star Wars side. This is the Jedi Council. I'm sure that Marvel is going to start filling in some of the stuff, because I think we really need that side filled in too, because I'm a big Marvel fan. So let's see. So we got a few minutes. Hopefully Gonzo will be coming in. So if any of you Star Wars questions, anything you'd like to say, anything you might know that I hadn't heard about, which that would be great right now. I think the Ahsoka series is going to be awesome. I really do. Probably the one that's going to really top out is probably going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I think a lot of people really want to see Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I just think that they're really moving in the right direction now. I think after Disney had taken everything in the wrong direction, well, they actually started moving in the right direction with Rogue One. And then when they started doing the sequel trilogy, that's when they started going the wrong direction. I think Solo would have pulled it back if it hadn't been the backlash from The Last Jedi. But I think these new series are really, really going to start to move things in the right direction. Hopefully, if there's any bumps, they'll correct that right away and fix it, because for Disney to spend how much money they did and have it turn to the point that it's starting to go towards a disappointment doesn't make sense when you've got on the other side, you got Marvel that they bought and is doing wonders. There's no reason why Star Wars should be tanking like this. It's Disney dropped the ball. I don't know if it's really Disney's fault or if it's Kathleen Kennedy's fault. I don't know, but it needs to be fixed. Things need to be turned around. Star Wars fans deserve more than having something like this happen. Now I don't know if I have heard rumors of possibly a George Lucas cut of Rise of Skywalker, and the possibility of it coming out sometime next year. But those are just rumors, so I'm not for sure if that's true or not. But I would really love to see a Rise of Skywalker George Lucas cut. I really would. I know there was a George Lucas cut, there was a Bob Iger cut, and then there was the Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams cut. So even to see the Bob Iger cut, I think would be great. But from what I understand, the George Lucas cut actually talks about the Veil of the Force, and the Veil of the Force is what could actually take and erase everything that happened in the sequel trilogy. What about the Dianoga puppet? And Disney, I guess it is in Galaxy's Edge. They have a new one. Oh, well, it doesn't look like Gonzo's going to make it. He's on his way home, and there was an accident. So, not with Gonzo. Just to let you know, Gonzo's fine. But so I guess we can go ahead and move on. Let's talk about The Mandalorian. So the Mandalorian was actually watching, or I was watching. I think I watched this episode twice. So obviously they go and they bring in Bill Burr Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians. They bring him back, and he's Bill Burr in there. I thought it was great. I thought Bill Burr did a great job. I think it's might be moving more and more towards Mando taking his helmet off, maybe being like the other Mandalorians, like Boba Fett and Bo-Katan and all them. So that's what it's starting to look like. That one might be hard, Mar. That one might be hard. I mean, if it was if The Last Jedi was redone, I think it would have to be completely rewrote and just refilmed completely, because somehow Rian Johnson took everything that happened in The Force Awakens and just tossed it out the window and decided, I'm writing a whole new story, is what it seems like to me. The only thing he kept were characters. But yeah. I was getting ready to ask. Glad he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. He's just, it's because of an accident. He's stuck in traffic. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I would like to see the whole entire sequel trilogy redone. The only problem is one of my favorite parts is where Han and Chewie walks onto the Millennium Falcon on A Force Awakens and says, Chewie, we're home. And to me, that was the best part of that movie. I think one of the places that they dropped the ball in the sequel trilogy is they never reunited the three together. They never reunited Han, Luke, and Leia all at the same time. And I think that should have happened. But yeah, there, and you know, actually, I think in one of the cuts, it might have been Lucas, not only was Han supposed to show up to Kylo, but both Luke and Leia were supposed to show up to Kylo at the same time. So that would have gave you that them being reunited. I felt like it should have been earlier, but I could see, due to the fact that there was already 2 movies made and it was missed, that was Lucas's attempt to try and grab it there. But I don't know. Hopefully, if there's anything done, I know George Lucas's his actual, some of it was leaked. The villain for his sequel trilogy was supposed to be Darth Maul, and we were going to be able to see, we were going to get to see Luke fight Darth Maul. But obviously that's gone. They could still do that. I guess they could. I think Mando is reconsidering that, what Bo-Katan and Mayfield have said to him. I believe that too. I think, yeah, I really think that Mando is starting to see things differently. I think Mayfield's a great character. I don't know how I know Bill Burr started out not being a Star Wars fan, and all of a sudden now that he's been in these, I think he's starting to become a Star Wars fan. He used to poke fun at Star Wars fans and everything like that, but it sounds like, and I like him. I liked his character. The first time they did it, I don't think they nailed the character down very well. This time, I think they nailed his character down, so you somewhat got an idea of who Miggs Mayfield was. And I would love to see more of it. I'm sure Bill Burr would love to be employed doing something like that. And he's just got the right attitude, especially to put him in that kind of a character. I thought he was great. And like I said, I'd love to see more of him. And if that means, the Star Wars Rangers, I mean, if that's what they put him in, and they put him in there with Cara Dune, I think it'd be awesome. I think that'd be an awesome spinoff, and would love to see something like that. But I think the one I'm a little worried about is the Star Wars Acolytes. But other than that, so like I said, we was going to get to Mando the last episode. So we get to see Boba Fett with the new paint job on his armor. a lot of people asking why. Why would he all of a sudden decide to get a paint job? And I have been watching some theories, and they believe that the reason why he never painted his armor before was because it showed all the battle scars, showing everything that he went through to become the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. Now, I think now that he's been out of hiatus, he feels like maybe he doesn't own those battle scars for his armor anymore, and he's decided to repaint it. Now, I don't know if he's going to go back to being a bounty hunter. I would say eventually he would, since he was the best at it. I did see a thing from the Clone Wars that was never put out, and it was Boba when he was, I'd say, maybe in his late teens, early 20s, having a facing down Cad Bane in sort of a Wild West shoot-off, and they both shoot at the same time, and they both hit. Cad Bane dying, of course, and Boba Fett surviving because of his armor. And supposedly the dent that's in his armor is the shot from Cad Bane. So Boba won greatest bounty hunter of the galaxy because of that one duel, from the way I understand. Mando himself is changing emotionally because he has developed such strong feelings for Grogu. True, yes. And what's I think's funny is you don't really see this kind of connection with the Mandalorian that much. You never really seen where there was Mandalorian relationships and everything like that. They always seem very militant and, cold and everything like that, even in the Clone Wars when they were passive. And it's kind of refreshing to see a Mandalorian who actually is, he's got a soft spot for Grogu, and I think that's awesome. And we're getting to see what he's about to do. He's putting it out all on the line just to try to get him back. Will he get him back? We don't know. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody know how many episodes are in this season? I'm not sure. I've never checked out. I figure we probably got just a few more if we have. But I'd hate to see him leave us with not knowing what happened and have to wait an entire time for the next season. But then again, that I could see them doing that. But so we got Cara Dune, we got Miggs Mayfield pops up. I keep forgetting, what's the one character? Oh, I can't think of her. Anybody? Mar? She's the one who's with Boba Fett. I know the actress herself was actually the voice of Mulan in the animated movie, but she's also going to be in the Bad Batch. 2 more. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get to see him get Grogu back. Grogu back. So, yeah, I like I said, I don't want to see this end on a cliffhanger and not know what happens. I mean, they really had him taken early for that kind of thing to happen. So hopefully we get to see the Mandalorian bring him back, and maybe the cliffhanger is someone coming to train Grogu and leaving it at that as a surprise for the next season. Is it the last one? Fennec, yes. Fennec Shan. Right. So yeah, Fennec Shan is going to be in the Bad Batch. So we might get to find out why she's wanted from the Bad Batch. Wow, really? I still feel like we had like a couple more left. So, well, let's hope. I hope they get him back. But I'm hoping for like a big season finale. But I'm gonna be really disappointed if they still don't have Grogu back. But what else did we see? Well, we got to see, of course, Mando had to take his helmet off. I think really the most of this that we really got to see how this was the makes Mayfield character really grow, because you kind of got the idea of how, you know, the guy used to be a part of the Empire, and now his the way he see things changed, and really when the one Imperial officer, you know, was getting to his whole thing about order and everything, people don't want freedom, and that's when you just see it, just like he snapped. He just snapped. He'd had enough, and that's not what people wanted. And that's when he went off, and they just started shooting everybody. But I really felt like it was that, but then again, the one thing that was really awesome is Boba Fett dropping the seismic charge. That was awesome. Hadn't seen it since Attack of the Clones when Jango Fett dropped it in the asteroid belt against Obi-Wan. Always loved the sound of the thing going off, and I thought that was awesome with them doing. One other thing I don't know if anybody noticed was with Cara Dune and Mando and who else? Finnick, when they're in Slave One. If you ever notice, the thing is rotating what they're in, because of course Slave One is moving to take off. And I don't know if a lot of people notice that, but if you look, it's rotating so that they're still sitting up whenever it moves to take off. I think that's awesome. And I thought that was really neat. I wish they'd go more in depth on Slave One, because I think Slave One would be a great ship to actually explore. I mean, we've seen the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcons, I don't know. We've seen the Millennium Falcon so many times, you can almost just sit down and draw it and model out where everything goes. Plus, I've already seen stuff like that. There might be stuff out there for Slave One, but I've never seen anything out there. I've never really looked into it. But and then you got the Razor Crest. Is it possible for him to find another one and have it completely redone, restored, and have his ship back? Or is this going to be a thing where he's going to be with Finnick and Boba Fett for a while? I don't know. I think that would be interesting. I think the whole idea of Boba Fett traveling, you know, the two of them. But then again, to tell you the truth, I think they could end up in Mandalore. So, and it could come down to Fett and Bo-Katan deciding on who should be the ruler of Mandalore, because they both have a hand in that, being an heir to being Mandalore. So that would be really neat. But I think it's going to come down to whoever gets the dark saber, which is being held by Moff Gideon. So I think there's going to be a lot of left over to go into season 3, or there's going to be a lot in this very last episode. So I don't know. It seems like anymore when it comes to Star Wars, when they answer questions you have, it seems like they just create more questions when they answer them. So I've been a Star Wars fan for a long, long time, ever since the first one come out. Read books, all kinds of stuff. And right now, I have to say that with what they're doing on Disney Plus, this is probably one of the best times to be alive as a Star Wars fan. I'm really enjoying everything that they're doing. I just hope they keep moving everything into a positive way. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping eventually they can come out with maybe a Star Wars Legacy Darksaber. I don't know if it's possible. I have seen the toy one, but it would be really neat to see a Legacy one of the Darksaber. But I know I have seen they've got this one lightsaber out. It's not done by Disney, but it actually changes. The Four Musketeers, Din, Cara, Boba, and Fennec. Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder if any, besides Miggs Mayfield, if it's possible for any of those other characters to come back as well. I mean, obviously, the droid already came back because the frog lady used that droid to talk. But the two Twi'leks, the brother and sister, I don't know if we'll ever see them come back. That would be interesting. It'd be interesting. I really like seeing characters come back and forming groups to overcome situations like this. But I don't know. I don't think they really cared for Mando very much. So, but I really, like I said, I'm really enjoying what's going on. I don't know what the Obi-Wan series could have. I think you're going to see a lot of him. Maybe they're going to show a lot of stuff on Tatooine, but I think there's going to be times where he may have to leave Luke with nobody to watch to go and do something. And I've even heard possibilities. Maybe he has to leave Tatooine and able to protect Luke, maybe to throw people off the trail, because I think I've heard that they said Luke at one point had used the Force, and they said, I heard somebody talking about maybe it could bring an Inquisitor and we could get our first live action Inquisitor, and Obi-Wan would have to fight an Inquisitor on Tatooine. That would be awesome. I really think that would be really awesome to see Obi-Wan take on one of the Inquisitors. And Luke being the possible reason why the Inquisitor shows up. I gotcha. Right. They won't get to Grogu because Boba Fett would not be obliged to follow Mandalorian. Remember, he will help get Grogu. Right. But yeah, I mean, I obviously, like I said, I want to see him get Grogu by the end. I do. I don't want this to end on a cliffhanger, but then again, it could. And then we have to wait all the way until next year and able to see what happens. So, but hey, I've waited longer. You know what I mean? Empire Strikes Back ended, and we had to wait till, what was it, 83 before Return of the Jedi to find out what happened to Han and everybody. So it's no big deal to wait a year, I guess. But well, as of right now, I'm starting to run out of stuff to say, so I think I'm probably going to cut this one off early. Hopefully next week we'll have Gonzo back with us, and maybe VP and some other people. And next week we'll be talking about, I was going to say The Rise of Skywalker. No, The Force Awakens. And of course, do you think they will make a Mandalorian game? I don't know. I do know that I can't remember what the name of the game. They were supposed to make a Boba Fett game. And right before EA took everything over, it was in development, and they completely just shut it completely down. I think it was called 1313, if I'm right. But yeah, it really upset a lot of people that they shut that down, because they thought it was going to be a really good game with Boba Fett in it. But like I said, next week we will be doing The Force Awakens, and of course we'll cover the finale of The Mandalorian. Thank you guys for coming in, watching. I want to thank Bloom and Cheesa, Mar, Katrina. Who else would we have? Faust family at WDW. We had some more people come in. I think we had Lori Jean Carlson come in. Looking farther. J-Dog. If I missed any of you, I apologize. But I want to thank all of you for coming in. And remember, may the Force be with you. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.